Hello? Test, test, test. All right. Listen. This is gonna be the plan, and this is how I'm thinking. I'm going to stream on Sundays, and then when I stream on Sundays, I'm gonna cover like 5, 6 stories, maybe 7, right? And then I'm gonna edit them into videos for the Banksville News channel. That way I can stay consistent because I can actually interact with you guys. I'm reading the comments. Yeah, Steve. Okay, yeah. See, I'm seeing everybody in the chat. Thank you. All right. So we're gonna cover the first topic, which is Mamdani and free buses in New York City. Now, I was extremely hype when I heard that he was trying to make buses in New York City free, because I think transportation in New York definitely is the best in the country, but it could be a lot better. And the fact that our public transportation prices keep on going higher and higher, but the service is sort of still lacking, especially when it comes to buses, because congestion is still a problem. Congestion pricing has solved congestion a little bit, but has only really solved the MTA's financial woes more than actual congestion. Like when I walk around downtown, I haven't really seen a massive difference. Maybe when they first implemented it back in like January or something like that, it was a massive difference. But now I'm not really seeing much of a difference in it. A lot of the issue is because it's only in Lower Manhattan. Outside of Lower Manhattan, so let's say if you go above 60th Street, you still have problems when it comes to congestion, especially when it comes to people who are trying to turn off into Queens to try to avoid that congestion pricing toll. There's still a lot of congestion there. And I haven't really seen congestion pricing really fix any of that issue. So buses, especially in the outer boroughs, are really, really slow. And so why would we force people to pay for public transportation that's extremely slow? Like buses should be able to move at least faster than somebody walking. But it is good because financially it's supporting New York. New York is able to pay back some of their bonds. So that's pretty decent. So let's check in and see exactly what Mamdani is trying to plan, because I think his plans are pretty interesting. Remember that he is a mayoral candidate, so even if he wins, doesn't really have much control over the MTA at all. So we'll see kind of how that goes. And I think that's the same thing, Patterson, exactly what you said, because the outer boroughs don't have enough rapid transit, so that ends up becoming a real issue. You have to take a bus, sometimes 2 buses, to get to a subway, and those buses get stuck in traffic a lot because bus lanes in New York City are used as parking lanes. Like people will double park and they'll just park in a bus lane, and then they'll just eat the ticket or just not get ticketed at all. So that's really the main issue. Right. Martin, exactly what you said, like free transit. When I was a kid in high school and in middle school, we would get free Metro cards, and it's the same type of thing. You still get free Metro cards, but you only have 3 rides, which just enough to get you to school and then get you to like maybe an extracurricular activity and then get you home from that extracurricular activity. But the free Metro cards don't work on the weekends. So if you have to do anything on the weekends, you don't have any means of public transportation. So you're literally forcing kids to have to pay for public transportation on the weekends. So like now you can't see friends, you can't do any of that type of stuff. And then the MTA wonders why people are fare evading.
I used to ride it to get to high school. Coming off the 1 train at 231st Street, seeing the bus about 2 stops away and knowing that if I ran fast enough, I could still catch up to it.
Because it was slow.
Because it was so slow, which is good for me, bad for the city.
Mamdani says as mayor, he'd make buses free. Riders could skip the lines, use all the doors to board quickly, and finally get moving.
Without hyperbole, the slowest buses in the country, 8 miles an hour. We could have this interview walking alongside it and still get there before the bus.
You might be able to outrun the bus. I don't know if I could outrun the bus.
Poor people don't make a lot of money, and then you taking out what, 290?
290 for a bus is crazy.
A lot of people say that 290 isn't wild. When I first complained about the fact that the bus prices went from 275 to 290, there were a lot of people who were like,
oh, well, it's $15 here or whatever.
I don't feel like that's a good argument. I think that we should make it so that low-income residents still can actually afford public transportation everywhere. Just because they can't afford it in one place doesn't mean that it makes it acceptable for low-income residents in another place to not be able to afford it.
For the city to pick up the fare, a cost Mamdani estimates between $600 and $800 million. Currently, more than 4 in 10 bus riders don't even pay their fare, according to the MTA.
Right now, people are hopping the bus, getting in trouble for the bus, getting ticket for the bus.
If the train or the bus suck, I don't pay. Oh! Excuse my French.
If public transportation is not going to be good, people will not want to pay. Oh! It's that simple. Let's say, for example, if I look on the schedule and I say, okay, well, there's a bus that's coming in 10 minutes. I go out to take that bus doesn't show up. Now I have to wait 15 minutes to take another bus, and now I'm late for school, or I'm late for work now. And listen, I'm not supporting people fare evading. If you have the capacity to pay for your fare, pay for it. But I thought this comment after the live stream was pretty interesting. I think it's ridiculous to claim that if a bus is slow, late, or in any way not up to expectations, people are within their rights to evade fares, or in other words, steal. If you went to a restaurant and the food was later than they promised, are we now saying it's fine to skip the bill? Yes, service should be good, but normalizing stealing as a response to poor service has so many downstream consequences. I can't imagine anyone even rationalizing the sentiment. I do agree that there are a lot of downstream consequences about people fare evading, but people need to understand that fare evading makes up for a fraction, a very, very small fraction, in this case, the MTA's overall revenue. And their overall revenue includes taxes as well, not just the fare box. The fare box accounts for 32% of the MTA's revenue. 32%, and 40% of people fare evade on buses. We're not talking about regional rail, we're not talking about subways, just on buses. So now we're talking about a fraction of that fraction. Politicians, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna keep on saying this actually. Politicians use fare evasion as a distraction to not fund public transportation. If you are pro-transit, do not fall for this fare evasion rhetoric. Because the reality of it is, and this is what I was trying to explain to that person in the comments, is that as a New Yorker, as New Yorkers as a collective, when you step on a bus, you have already paid a large portion of your fare. This is why I don't believe in fare box revenue. I believe in higher taxes, especially for wealthier people whose employees use public transportation to come into work. As an employee, why am I paying to come in to work for you? You should be paying my fare. And some companies do hand out Metro cards to their employees, but that's more at the corporate level. Your average McDonald's employee or Amazon delivery person is not getting a free Metro card from Amazon or McDonald's. They're not doing that. So you have to understand, when your public transportation, when your bus does not show up or is extremely late, this isn't just like, oh, your food is late, you'll get it in like 10 minutes or whatever. You can eat later, you can eat whenever. Or you could just not eat at that moment in time. This is the equivalence of food poisoning or having an allergic reaction after saying, hey, I need this to not be in my food. Because guess what? Now you're showing up to work late. Now you might be fired. There goes your job. There goes your main source of income because you're late. But that's because the public transportation that you're already prepaying for, it's a prepay service. You're already prepaying for, made you late.